Welcome back, everybody. Today is a really exciting video. It's another DIY video. We are going to be doing some more lead weights. As you see, I have upgraded from those disgusting yellow glasses, and now I've got a nice clear pair that I can finally see out of. So really pumped that I found those. We've got the mold. We've got the pot on right now. That way we can get the lead warmed up. I don't have much lead in there yet. I've got a couple of these hand poured things that I've made, and I'm just going to toss a few of them in there. So got everything laid out so far. You're really going to need a couple pair of pliers. You're going to need a screwdriver if you have any clogs or anything. You're going to need lead. Today we may get into a little powder paint. Not for sure yet. We'll see how far we go. I've got two molds today. Today we're not making sinkers, but today we are making jigs. The first jig we are making is just a little round head jig, perfect for walleye, perfect for white bass. Just about any fish will bite on a jig like that. You can use live bait, you can use a Mr. Twister, you can use minnows, whatever you want. And then the other one that we're going to be doing today is Ned Rigs. Ned Rigs, I found, are one hook that is very expensive and I don't want to pay for, so I've decided that I'm going to make them myself. So I've already got the hooks laid out here, but as you see, for the regular round jig heads, I've got just a jig hook. You can get 100 per pack. These are about $5 a pack. I've got 2, 1, 1/0, 2/0, and 3/0. And that is because this mold right here takes different size hooks per jig head. So whatever one you want, it's clearly labeled in the bottom of it, as you can see there. And that way you know exactly which one to use. And for the Ned Rigs, I've got black chrome #1 hooks. And these are all the exact same size, because the Ned Rigs, the only difference for the Ned Rig is the weight on top. I will probably be using the first 4 of these. These 2 smaller ones are just kind of tough to make, and I probably just would not use those much. I like these heavier ones because I like to throw Ned Rigs in for smallmouth, and there's typically a lot of current for smallies. So as you see here, we've got quite a bit of stuff lined up. We've got 500 round jig head hooks, and then we've got about 100 of these Ned Rig hooks. Now the reason I've got such a different proportion is I needed the size of each of them, but these 500 hooks cost about the same as these 100 Ned Rig hooks. These are much stronger and much tougher, so they can take a lot more of a beating. Also with Ned Rigs, you're going to need the little stopper or little catch for your little Ned Rig. Those connect onto there as well, and that will hold your soft plastic in place so it does not slip down your hook. Pretty much got everything going. We got the lead cooking. It is slowly cooking off just a little bit, and we're going to give it a few more minutes and then we're going to get going. I hope you guys are enjoying these little DIY videos. Let me know what you guys think down below, and if you think I need to get a few more molds or anything and try something else. I really like Do It molds. I highly recommend that you check these out. Do It molds, they seal great, they make great lures, they make great weights. Everything that I made from them before is top notch. As you can see here, I've made a few already, and so this is what the outcome is going to be for the little round head. And then the Ned Rig, this is another good one, but it's kind of tough because this little stopper in the back can come loose and wiggle, so you really got to be careful on those. So to start, you pretty much just open up the mold. We're going to do the round jig head first. They're a little bit easier. So you're going to open it, you're going to put your hooks in there by the size according to what it says on there. I've got them lined up perfectly now so that I can just line them up nice and easy. This is a little bit different than sinkers because this requires work between each one of your pours, where the sinkers you can just go. You can knock out 100 sinkers in no time, where 100 jig heads is going to take some time because you've got to do this in between each pour. Another thing that stinks about these is that the mold gets extremely hot, so it's not like you can just keep going. You've got to give it time to cool down because you've got to put these hooks in there very precisely. Otherwise, that mold will not close and can cause some serious problems down the road. There we go. Those are the 5 that I'm going to be doing on this round jig head mold. We're going to close it up now very carefully. All right, let's get our first one rolling. You probably want to give it 5 to 10 seconds before opening it, and then afterwards it should be good to go. There you have it. 5 very nice jig heads. They kind of came out half on each side, but all 5 of those look terrific. And then you're going to want to break off the excess that's on top of it, and then give it a few more minutes to cool down, and then you're good to go. Clean, just got to give it a second to cool down, and then you're good to do the next one. Now that we've made a few jig heads, just the round jig heads, we're going to give it a second, let that mold cool down. I'm going to switch over to the Ned Rigs here. And like I said before, you just need the same size hook for every single position that's open. I'm only going to do the biggest 4 because, quite frankly, those are the only 4 I would use. So you just put the hook in there, just like we did before. Hook goes right there, nice and easy. Just takes a second to get it out of here. Then boom. Maybe. There you go. Perfect. Got all 4 in there. Then you can see on the edges that little piece that's sticking up. That is that little part that you have to connect in there. It's really hard to do with large fingers. That's why I struggle. But it's really important to have that on there, because if you don't, your bait will just slide right down your hook and it won't stay in position. But with that little piece, it will stay up there and it won't slide at all. There you can see we got 4 hooks and 4 of the little holders on there, and now we're going to pour this guy. Going to want to close that nice and easy. I like to let just a little bit out just to make sure it's open, and now we can pour. Now it's open. Let's see what we got. There's 3 of them, and then there's the other guy, and those all look incredible. Beautiful. Now we just got to take off the top pieces and get them in the box. Beautiful. Now we're just going to need to knock out about 100 of each of these. Well, there we have it. There's a bunch of jigs, a bunch of Ned Rigs. Still got a gazillion hooks left. I used all my Ned Rig hooks, but I think they turned out really nice. And there we have it. I'm going to try to powder paint a few of these now. We're going to try probably the jigs first, and then work our way to the Ned Rigs. Last but not least, we got to do a little powder paint. Got the propane torch here, and then we got a few different colors of powder paint. We got white, green pumpkin, and then I've also got a black. I'm just going to show you guys the white. It's the same with all of them, but we're just going to get that jig heated up 2, 3, 4 seconds at the most. You don't want to focus too much on the lower sections of the jig. That's going to heat up too quick and will melt, actually. So just heat the the head of it up for just a few seconds, put it in the powder paint, swish it around, and then I'll be putting it on this little homemade contraption here. That's just where I'm going to be drying these jigs out at. I've already got 2 done, tested out just to make sure I still remember how to do it. And here we go. Grab hold of the jig with your pliers pretty tight, turn your propane on, get the whole thing heated up, but then focus most of your heat on the head of this, all sides. Wave it through there so it's not crazy hot, but it is warming up. Take your powder paint, dip it in there, swish it around a little bit. And there you have a perfectly painted head. And if you want to heat up or get all that extra powder off, you can just heat it right back up and it will stick right on there. There you go. Beautiful jig head. I'm just using Protect powder paint, and there you've got it. Got a few of them going. Hope you guys enjoyed this little episode of how to make some jig heads and some Ned rigs. It was a lot of fun to make it, and I think it's going to save me a lot of money in the long run, especially over the years after you get that initial cost of buying the mold out of the way. It's really going to save a lot of money, especially because I fish a lot. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you guys thought, and I will catch you on another episode. Peace.